Wonderful. So excited to see everybody on here. I am going to mute everyone, but it was good to hear where everybody is from. Happy Saturday, wherever you are. Good to see you, everybody. Welcome to the team call this week. You know, I am always excited about having our Saturday calls. And it's not just because, I like to train. I like to, help out and giving everybody the tools that they need. But for me, I learn each and every time. And one of the things I can say I've really learned is if you want to be the leader of a big team, well, you need to lead that team. You need to figure out how to lead leaders. And to do that, you need to be able to learn the skills that you need. So that's probably one of the things that I'm most excited about with our guest speaker today because of the leadership. And, people who know me know that I am kind of a feely, touchy person who lives with heart, as one of the things talk about in Zinzino. And our main speaker today won this year's Heart of Zinzino, which I am just so proud of, and you can tell why. So I'm going to bring him on here and just tell you this little story too. So let's bring him on here. Oh, Royal Crown, Marco Passanante. Hey, Marco. Hello. Oh, I think I already made you co-host, so you'll just need to unmute yourself. There you go. Hey,
I'm unmuted. Hello. Royal Crown was a couple of years ago, but
didn't I say
good,
Royal Ambassador?
That's okay. Doesn't matter, right?
Well, actually, I think one of the times I even promoted you for a different title of a different, but either way, I know it's one of those top ones and it's what I'm going to be working on. But Royal Ambassador, Marco, Marco, one of the things that I just want to tell everybody, and it's kind of a special story to me. And it was this year, it had been years since we had been to an event, the first annual event since 2019. And it was kind of an emotional time. I had just hit a new title and we were coming to the crown dinner, and it's special to get there. It's so elegant. The tables are all set up, and I didn't have my upline wasn't there and my downline wasn't there. And I was kind of coming in and feeling just a little bit, and Marco was one of the first people who came up and just welcomed me and said, congratulations, and gave me this big hug. And he says, where are you going to sit? And I said, well, I'm not quite sure. And he's like, well, come and sit with us. And he just adopted me for the night and had me there. And I had just a marvelous time sitting with you and Dave and Shan. And it was so much fun. And actually, so I just have this, and I've been telling people that for those days, just going, what a sweetheart. And then you won the Heart of Zinzino. And I was like, spot on. I love that. So congratulations, Marco. And thank you for adopting me that day.
No, thank you. Thank you for sitting with us. And first, I want to congratulate you, Carl, as well. And thank you for everything you do, always sharing from your heart, always creating, these amazing calls, everything for the whole community over there in the US. And I was so happy when I saw you hit the new title. So when I wrote to you that, congratulations, because I was so happy to see that, and well-deserved. And, saw you over the years, working hard, going through your struggles and everything. So I'm so happy to see you win. So huge congratulations on that.
And that's kind of, there are struggles, and you do learn through the struggles. And actually it's
maybe we have a problem because Julieta did like this. I don't know why. Ask Julieta, is there a problem? She's waving. Is there a problem? Can you hear me?
Oh, I'll just put on and say, Julieta, do you want to unmute here? We'll add you.
1 minute. I just want to say this. The first time I met Marco, it was in Portugal in the director trip, and I was with my daughter. So there was a full house, and Marco and Filipa sat for hours with my daughter, talking to her about the business, about the industry. And that, Marco, I will never, ever forget. And this is the guy that was so famous. Everybody wanted to sit here. He was sitting here with my daughter, cross lines. He was not going to make any money out of us. And this is just what he is, and Filipa. So I had to share this. I love you guys.
Thank you, Janetta. Thank you, Janetta. Let's dive in, Carl. I'm getting started to blushing here. I'm here to give value, not to be praised for, but I appreciate it so much. Thank you very much. But
Okay. Well, we can also dig in, but you do need that that appreciation, and actually, it is leading into our topics because people look at leaders and they think that it was just always this easy, and you were this, you're very animated and powerful when you are on stage. And actually, I think it's really good to go from the beginning, because that's not how it was in the very start. You weren't this, I remember, I think one of my first speeches I heard you gave this speech and then it was, mic drop. And I was just like, whoa, who is this guy? But you talk about when you got started, because I think it's an important thing when you're talking about where you are now to talk about where you got started. You weren't that way from the start.
no, not at all. First of all, Carla, I grew up I played football all my life, so I was a talent there. So on the football pitch, was soccer for Americans. I was a talent there, so I was very confident on the soccer pitch. But if you took me off that, I was a very insecure, didn't do well in school. My mother grew up, 90% with my mother. She was a single mother, bartender. So I was alone a lot, and was actually a bad neighborhood as well. And many of my friends back then, when I was 12, 13, some of them sadly, they don't exist anymore. Many went the wrong route in life, and some went to jail, and some are dead today. So that was my beginning. And at 20 years old, I saw network marketing, and I went to an event. And that was the first time I got exposed to personal development, psychology in that sense of successful people. And first time I got a mentor who believed in me and told me that I could be something in life. And so this industry really changed the direction of my life. And I started working on myself, read every book I could find. And it was a journey, Carla, but it was 5 years later, when I was 25, I was working for a big newspaper as well and playing football, soccer in second division and in Sweden. And I started professional again. I got started, and that was after 5 years personal development and growth and making good money as an employee. I started, and January 2009, I made a decision. This is going to be my career path. I'm going to pay the price, do whatever it takes, as long as it's morally and legally, to win and be financially free within the marketing space, direct sales. And my first month, that night, I actually ordered a start kit, and I wrote down 81 names. I called them all. I was so excited. I just went gung-ho on the list, talked to everybody, and first 7 calls, everybody laughed at me. Nobody wanted even to listen. And then I called my sponsor saying that nobody's interested. And he said, no, I told you not to explain over the phone. I'm like, I'm not explaining. No, but if you're not explaining, what is it that they're not interested in? And this is a mistake many do. They burned all the list just trying to explain over the phone. And then he said, can you listen how to invite? And I listened, and I started inviting. And after 81 names, I had 2 business partners, and none of them were very ambitious. None of them were with me 4 or 5 years later. But that was my start, 81 names. And I just made a commitment. I was going to talk to everybody. And I did. And I think that's why I became, after 6-7 months, quite good, because I recruited 50 people the last 6 months of that first year. Because I just talked to everybody, And there was no online. This is 2009. So just calling, references. Who do you know? Call my hairdresser, sign up my hairdresser. My hairdresser's mother ordered. And it was an old coach I had 10 years ago, teacher. I called everybody. My former school sports teacher. I called everybody because I was hungry.
Okay, so just to get this straight, because I know people were like this when you said, I called 81 people and nobody was interested and nobody was talking to me. People are like, people don't talk to Marco Passanate. How did they not do that? But it makes sense. But you know what, Marco? People are still making that same mistake today. I see, the people that just get started, they think, now I just need to explain it over the phone and people are going to get it. And it just doesn't work. People have to, when they get started, learn some certain skills. And the things that you learned from the beginning that helped out were how to invite, and then getting together with them personally. those were the two keys of getting started.
Yep. But I have to say, because what I'm going to share today is I was thinking, okay, leadership, how, because I just studied at Harvard as well, finished the course organizational leadership at the Harvard Business School, just finished that course. It was a 3-month course. I just wanted access to the brightest mind of leadership in the world. And this is a guy who didn't even finish school with I don't even have grades and everything. I didn't even finish school. And now I started Harvard. So it's like everything is possible if you just work on yourself and dare to believe. And so I was thinking, okay, what should I cover here? But I thought, let's go back to the basics, because if you don't master some things in the beginning, it doesn't matter. So if I can go from an insecure boy, didn't even finish school with grades, and now I just finished a course at Harvard Business School. It was distance online, Harvard Business School online, organizational leadership. But I got access to some of the brightest mind in leadership. And if I can do a journey, so can you. So don't look at the person you see today after 19 years of personal growth, 19 years of analyzing. So first of all, stop comparing. And never compare your chapter 1 with somebody's chapter 15. That is an advice I can give you, because we feel bad sometimes because we compare and we see. The only thing I did was pay the price, stay consistent, working every day. So finish the day with 2 questions. You probably may never heard me say this before, but I think this is something you should also bring with yourself, because every evening, ask yourself 2 questions. Because if you have good answers to this, and you do this 5 years in a row, you will be in a total different space in your life. And that is analyzing the day and asking yourself, 1, what did I do today to grow? Number 2, what did I do today to get closer to my dreams? So what actions did I take? So
well, hang on, because I think just in the few minutes we've talked, you have had so many key notes that I can't even keep up. So there's so many things in what you've said. So I'm going to go back to, because you said when I got this, and the reason I got to here and here was the hunger. And the hunger ties together with that goal, because at the end of the day, you want to talk to yourself about, did you move forward and get to those goals? But you had goals from the start, right? I mean, people's hunger, people's start, that's kind of where it started. So because we're going to talk about consistency, we should talk about getting towards your goals, but the goals and that hunger is kind of that basis of getting going towards leading what you want to do. I'm just trying to get it pulled together.
No. Great summary. And it is the key. But also one advice on that, when I made a decision, I'm going to be financially free with this profession. I was 25. I was working 10 hours a day at the newspaper. So I was leaving home 7 a.m, driving 1 hour to work, 55 minutes, playing football in 2nd division, soccer. So I was leaving home 7 a.m, come back 10 at night. But I made one decision. I'm going to do at least 7 presentations a week for 1 year. And this is something you can do. No matter where you are right now in your life. I mean, you're busy probably listening, right? I mean, you're busy. Everybody's busy. But just making that decision, I'm going to do 7 a week for 1 year minimum, no matter how it goes. So focus on the activity level. I was coaching one of my diamonds. She wants to go director this month. And she's way behind. This is 2 days ago. She's way behind on her goal. And she haven't done the amount of meetings she was supposed to do until this date. And I told her, she kind of started having anxiety. She, I don't see I can get to director now. And I just told her, listen, this business should be a positive pull, not a negative push. Don't start getting anxiety because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. You're way behind on credits where it should be this month. I just told her, just make sure you do whatever it takes to just do the activity level you set up. Just do the activity level. If you do the activity level and then you miss the target on credits or rank, doesn't matter. Then it was a successful month in the sense that you did your best. And if you do you feel you gave it your best, you followed your plan, that's a successful month. Because the thief of self-esteem is setting up a plan that you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. This is one of the keys to low self-esteem. You set up a goal of activity and you don't do it. You don't do and then this is where I see many people give up. They say, I'm going to do 5 invitations this week. They didn't do it. Next week they didn't do it. A month in a row, and then they give up and they kind of put themselves the label that, oh, I'm not consistent, or I'm a procrastinator. So then set a new target and start creating small victories. If you're very busy, maybe for you, I'm going to make 1 invitation Monday, 3:00. And then I put alarm clock, 1 invitation. And then when the alarm is up, whatever you do, just make 1 call. And don't focus on the outcome. It doesn't matter if they're not interested. It's you just starting to build in that muscle of being consistent in what you need to do. And what you need to do is what you set up in the plan, because you need to follow what you do. And then, so be impatient with action, but be patient with the results.
Mm-hmm. So you're setting you're talking about the action, because the results will come.
That's what we can control, Carla. If we do enough high activity in the basics and making sure I'm bettering the basics, high activity over time equals progress. If you take high activity over time, consistently, you will always see progress in your skills, in your belief, in your results, automatically.
Mm-hmm. So consistency, one of the huge keys to, I think, your success, but also anybody who is really wanting to build this business, is to keep that consistency. So having that goal, making that plan, but because you also see people doing the opposite. They like, we got to get go. And then, or they're waiting. I've had so many talks with people who want to build this, but they're waiting for like when they're done with a certain contract to then get going or do things. And instead of just setting a goal to start building and being consistent. So you're saying it doesn't matter what kind of activity, just consistency is the most important thing towards your goal.
Yeah, it's like investing, right? Or saving money. Many people say there, okay, I'm going to start saving once I make this amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the amount, it's about creating the habit, right? It's more about starting to do it. It's same in this business. Maybe for you, I always tell people, don't compare with anybody else in the sense of activity, because you need to find the highest level of activity you can hold based on your life situation.
So on that, some people are talking about like, that hunger and the activity, how they go together, and they don't want to do too much, or they don't want to set too high of goals. So some people say you should set goals and times it by 10. And some people say, let's set like a realistic goal. Where are you setting goals for you?
It's so funny because people always give advice based on their own personality and based on what worked for them. And then, I analyze a lot, and I coach a lot of people, and I sponsor new people, no experience. Like now this month, I'm going to get a new personal diamond. This is 5th month in this profession, no experience. So I always go out and recruit new people with no experience and create new leaders from the bottom and from build a foundation. So I analyze a lot. I sit with people. And I analyze, so I see what works, right? So many people out there that haven't built new leadership for a decade in this profession, and then they're going to teach you how you're going to do it. Yeah, but based on what? Based only on their small experience, right? So I'm looking at what is working, what is not. And I have to say, what works? It's very individual. I would say, try both. Try both. But no matter where you fit, because the problem is, Carla, is that we limit ourselves too much. So I think wherever you think it's good for you, take it 10% above that. When I start a new person, if I see their mindset is very low, they never made more than $1,000 at a job, they think very small. If they believe 1,000, I'm going to talk 1,500. I'm going to always stretch people from where they're at a little higher. If they think big, I'm going to stretch them even higher. So you need to stretch people. So because you have to help them think bigger. I believe that. But it starts with you meeting them where they're at and take them one step from that level. So I see people think small, bring this with you when you sit with people. I see this often as well. Is that people who think small, they kill their potential best people because they talk only about a couple of $100 extra. If you talk a couple $500, $1,000 extra with me at 25, making 4,000 at my job, making the money from the football. If you talk to me $1,000 extra, I would not be in this profession. The guy inspired me with big numbers, or else I wouldn't be here. But it's the opposite. So if you think big, you have to learn to ask the right questions so you meet people where they're at. Because I see the opposite as well. In the beginning, I destroyed so many prospects because I talked too big. I was too excited, right? I talked 100,000 a month. I've seen people making this money and stuff. So I scared away people that way. So it's about speaking the prospect's language and learning to ask the right questions.
So you really want to find out what their need is and what they want, and then stretch it that little bit. But you also said something about, believing, because like you were talking about somebody was believing in you. And I think that's one of the important things too, is that believing in the people that you're signing up, and if they're, not used to that, helping them reach to that next level or that next belief or something. How are you doing that? Or because it really matters. It really matters if somebody can believe in you. Not many people have that nowadays in what they're doing right now in their regular jobs.
Absolutely. We tend to live up to those expectations, right? If we have somebody that have a higher standard for us, that we respect, and they say they believe in us, that you can do it, we tend to live up to those expectations, right? That we don't want to disappoint this person because they believed in us and they say that we can do it. And this person put that belief in me. I want to prove to them that, yeah, I can do it. And then believing in me makes me believe even more. But that goes back to the foundation of taking action. The whole foundation for you building this business is starting with dealing with yourself, because the hard stuff is to start believing in yourself. Dealing with yourself is the hardest. So I'm going to give you a couple of steps how to inspire people in your team and keep inspiring them. But I want you to start with this foundation. Is the hard stuff is to deal with yourself. And your own voice, your own thoughts will keep you in the game or take you out of the game. It's not Zinzino, it's not your sponsor, it's you. So I want you, when it looks to the mind, I tell you, study the mind, read books about this, because the mind will take you out of the game if you don't keep it in the game and be intentional with that. What I mean with this is, first of all, you have to understand your mind. What is your mind there for? What is your mind there for, Carla? What is its primal objection? To keep you safe.
Okay.
So many people, they live their life and they think they're going to take action when they feel like it. Yeah, you can wait until you die. Never going to happen. You act yourself into your emotion, creates emotion. So you have to take action, or else too many people treat us in Zinzino business. Like, we can think about, if I would put this metaphor about the gym. Okay, the gym is like, okay, we say, for example, you need to lose 15 pounds as an example, 20 pounds, whatever, but you need to lose, your goal is to lose some pounds. And you sit at home in the sofa and you say, okay, when I've lost 5 of them, I'm going to start going to the gym. When I start losing weight, I will start going to the gym. But this is how many treat their business, right? It's like, oh, when I feel like it, I'm going to make these calls. So they come on this call today. You're sitting on this call today. Maybe some of you get inspired and you feel more energized after this, and you want to take action. Then you start planning for the coming week. Then comes Monday, and life comes in the way. You won't feel like it Monday anyway. It's 48 hours after this call. You won't feel like it. So how do you learn to deal with this? You start with understanding that, okay, your mind is not a success director. Your mind is not your happiness director. Your mind is not your success director. Your mind is not your happiness director. It's there to keep you safe. So that means it's there to keep us safe, which means it's based on fear. So automatically, it's there to protect you, which means everything that is outside of your comfort zone and this, your mind will always react and you won't feel like it. But you have to learn to see how you can act in despite of feeling that way.
Okay, so Marco, because you talked about that at the very beginning too, when you got started and you made some decisions, you had those goals and you knew right away you needed to, because you said you read a lot of books and you knew it was about the mindset. So because your mindset is going to make it or break it for you. But so if people are wanting and have a lot of goals in this, how important is it for them? We've got Go Core. Are there certain books that you would recommend? What is it that you would say? How do they improve this mindset from the start? People who just got started today, what would you be recommending for them?
I mean, when it comes to energy and everything, I mean, input equals output. Will always be like that. And output, I mean, in how you act, how you behave, what kind of people you attract, but more importantly, how you feel. So, I mean, every day I'm reading. I mean, right now, today I've been reading, Investors Chronicle is about investments and stuff. And Maxwell, the leader's greatest return. And it's more about what it awakens in me than actual information often. So this input makes me feel, John C. Maxwell makes me feel like a better human being. May help me focus on other people first. Help me serve my people. Help me serve the people. Helps me be more intentional in how I communicate and everything. I love this guy because what it brings out of me and what he helps me focus on is amazing.
Okay, well, Marco, do you realize that every sentence you say is like something we should be writing down and putting on posters? Because I love that about you are thinking about how you can serve others. You are thinking about what you can do for others and making you feel like a better person. And I think people can just feel that energy through you. And I think the mindset of success ties together with enjoying the journey and really what you're focusing on and focusing on others. That's a huge topic in itself, Marco.
And people can feel it, Carla. People can feel it. This is why when I go on stage, many people, they train so much on how they're going to talk, how they're going to move to be perfect there. I don't care about that stuff. I go up, share from my heart what's genuine, what I believe, because I'm there to speak to people. That's why when I talk here, I don't build it to technically try to be an amazing speaker. Yeah, listen to that, and I'm going to apply a little this and that. Of course, many years now of reading about it. Maybe I do a lot of it subconsciously, but I'm more about, I don't want too much fluff. What is the unique things in my ideas that I want to give out there? That's why I don't just, many speakers, like everybody, of course, same there, is attracted by different speakers. But a speaker just go up and build it around this, too much fluff around it, they lose me after 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I want more, what can I apply? What can I implement? When I listen, it's like, what can I implement? They say one thing, I write that down. Then I reread it. Probably that's why in my brain, it's like, just the most important things. And that's why probably because I share from my heart, Carla, I don't want to be this, perfect speaker. I don't care about that stuff. I want to make an impact. And how I speak makes an impact on people. If somebody will come and tell me, maybe you should think about this. Yeah, I love feedbacks. I want to grow, absolutely. But more important, what is the impact I can do and to give and to serve? And people feel when it comes from the heart.
And actually, though, if you are speaking from the heart, then you first have to have it in the heart to have it come out. So what comes in comes out, you said. So, and actually, when you hear the statement that a great leader has to lead themselves, that's what you have been doing. That's what you've been doing for the 19 years you've been in direct sales. And that's why you have so much in you. And that's why people can feel that what you have in you. So people need to work on themselves, have their goals and work on themselves to get what they want out of life. So am I summing this up right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. So that's why we can sense what is in your heart and why that Heart of Zinzino. And you have all this knowledge about it because how big is your team now, Marco? You have a team, T-balance of what about now?
30,713.
Okay, that's like crazy. But so if people realize to have a great team of that size, okay, question. Do you think anybody could do that? Do you think anybody can really build leadership and have 30,000 in their team?
No, I don't think so.
So
I
who are
know
the
so.
ones?
I know so.
You know so, okay. So if I'm understanding this correctly, getting in, doing something because you have a goal, you have those plans, and you start working on yourself to leading yourself, right? That's the start? Okay.
100%, 100%.
Okay,
Eh,
so then, but then going from there, because at some point you can be building this business when it's about you, but when you start stretching your own mind to do something more, you're going to need to be building leaders too. So how do you get that to be building leaders? Because that's kind of the whole key of getting really big business in Zinzino, is making a whole bunch of leaders, right? Or am I not?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's easier than people think. If you stay, I have here, because I have, there's one of the groups I'm coaching in my team, and they wanted to lift everything this month, and I'm coaching them, and they wanted me to teach them how to create leadership. I mean, in the sense of what's the practical steps that you do to create that leaders. Mm-hmm. And first of all, when it comes to that, I'm going to share those what I share with them. But I want you to understand that my thinking is all around that leadership is caught more than it's taught. Mm. Meaning, I do with them what I want them to do without me. So, for example, I started this guy a couple of months ago. I prospected him 1.5 years ago. Met him through a common friend. I liked this guy. I felt I'm going to work with this guy one day. And I stayed in touch. He's a German guy living in Dubai. I stayed in touch. And when the timing was right, it's like I'm always so efficient. I always have many out there with the right kind of food for them, right? It's like, okay, just see when the time is right. No, not right now. Here, and after the other here, and let's see, okay, there's a good, big fish I want. Let's see, there's a good one there. Oop, and I throw them in. I have many in the sea at the same time with food. And then when the time is right, the fish will come. If you're consistent enough, but I see many here, they just throw it in, take it up. Okay, no fish today, bring it in, walk home. And then how are you going to catch some good fish if you're not have the fishing stuff in the water? You won't. So this guy took 1 year, then he was hungry. Boom, signed him up. He came to Europe this summer, even came to my home in London then. And now I'm in Marbella in our home here. He was there with me as well in Marbella. Because I saw big potential. He worked at Tesla, disliked there because of the culture at Tesla, couldn't stand Tesla. He said, sounds amazing, but when you're in, it's different, right? So, and here we saw culture where he actually care about people, take care of people, you're just not a number. So I told him, because he needed a job. I said, listen, come here, I'll help you. And we take a couple of months, we get to diamond within 6 months. No experience, really from scratch. I said, I'll drive you. If you're willing to put in time, I'll give you everything. So I showed him. So what did I show him? Because number one, if you're going to inspire your team, number one, model the behavior. Mm-hmm. You model the behavior. So how he saw me invite a prospected Uber drivers. Even these Uber drivers, I didn't have time to also sponsor these people, but I just did it just to show him how easy this can be. So I did every step, even a business presentation in London, Uber driver on the way. We were so close to getting to join us up there, but he had to call his wife and he had to come home for food, so he didn't join us. Just to show him this is how you can talk to people naturally, how you do it. So I did everything with him, but you model behavior. How they see how you act, how you speak.
Actually, I think that's actually really important, because when you said, no, I'm going to tell you what I do, I was thinking you're going to tell all the things that you tell your team to do. And actually what you're talking about is you're showing them how you're recruiting. That's a huge, that's what people should be writing down and underlining, because you are doing the work that they should do. That is really powerful too, Marco. I mean,
Le-
for everybody.
leadership is caught more than it's taught.
Mhm. That makes
I feel-
sense now. I was
I-
like, I got it.
I mean, because they catch it. It's like we catch it. I mean, it's like the flu, right? I can sit from here, talk to you about the flu, but if I'm there next to you, you'll catch it probably. And
So be with them and help them and be contagious. And
exactly.
but that makes sense, Marco, because when you wouldn't have this success with all of, you've been like one of these recruiters of the top recruiters year after year after year, because you're always putting people in the pipeline. So if you have the whole background and belief in you and have those goals and doing those plans, but you're actually doing that, that's the biggest part of leadership. The first thing you said about it, and that's showing all the things that you're doing again and again and again.
And letting them do it and taking responsibility, because I was working so close after 3 months when you had a group and there you have this, totally, you create your WhatsApp group, you communicate with your people, not me. Yeah, we have our team page and our team name and stuff, but we have our team call every Monday night. I told you, you always have a team call, but I want you to have your own team call, because now you have more than 10 people that want to build. So every Thursday he has his own team call, because I want him to build himself. That's what one told me about my team, because I have some of my main leaders that I helped so much and now they want to brand themselves. And one asked me that are starting becoming a good leader. He asked me, I mean, you have so many people now that brand themselves. What do you think about that? I said, that's what I want. I want to work myself out of a job. The best thing that can happen is that leader, because you want to be there. I help them, I push them so much, but after they hit director crown, I want them to feel that they did it. I don't want them to feel too much that I helped them too much. But I'm pushing them out. I'm leading them, trying to lead them a little from distance. Like this guy could be new diamond. He has now 30 people in his WhatsApp group. He has his team call, and he has a personally sponsored guy who's going to be executive who's sponsored a guy that he worked with that might go platinum this month. 3rd month, no experience, totally organic. So it's like I want him to take that responsibility because he needs to grow. I want my main leaders become so big and self-confident that they don't even use me. They should feel I don't even need Marco. Who cares? I'm building me, my team, and that's what I want to get to.
That's really important. I remember Orion at one time saying something about, birds, get the birds out of the nest, but you don't kick an egg out. So, but it's important to find that balance. Is it different for every person? Do they find differences in that when you're setting them off on their own?
Of course, it's different. This guy, he studied, he's high educated. He worked at Tesla. He was a manager there for there. So of course, he was above average when it comes to having led people and stuff. So that's why I kind of kicked him out quicker. But somebody who is, lower level of communication skills, then of course it's a little longer. I still have people after 2-3 years that I try to create leaders of. I have a director in a country, he still used me too much. And then every time I back off, he stops doing something. And then he's like, you haven't called me for 3 weeks. Come on. You're a leader. You got this. You're amazing. Your people need to see you shine. Yeah, but can we set up the team calls again? He even stopped doing team calls when I'm doing his team calls when I'm not there. I'm like, why do you do this? No, but I need your help. You don't need my help. It's like, with these kind of people, I have to be there more. So back again, leadership is about meeting. One part of leadership is meeting people where they're at. And then stretch them one level from where they're at, right?
Yeah, because I've noticed a lot of people, they kind of get to a point where they're saying, I don't have any help and nobody's helping me. But actually, I've seen that's showing some hunger that they want to get farther. But then it really is up to they need to do something. Dave and your team, Dave Ives, he said, leader, you don't have to give leadership. Leaders take it. There's a lot of leaders will take it. And you're just saying, give them that little bit of a push to there and then let them take it. And they don't need to have somebody holding their hand the entire time. If you need something, get out there and do it.
Absolutely. And then this is also a problem I see many potential leaders do wrong. They're so afraid to push their people. So they too kind of just like it's proven. Mothers or fathers who curl the kids too much, do too much for them, create the weakest kids and the most unhappy kids. because you think you're helping them. Because of course, as a mother or father, you want to be loved, so you maybe give them too much, just serving them to be liked by your kids. Sadly, you're destroying your kids, and it's proven. If you don't haven't read about this, I recommend Carol Dweck, who wrote about this, because giving your kids praise without deserving it actually kills their self-confidence. But this also, you need, as a leader, you need to have the guts to tell people what they need to hear. A friend will tell you what you want to hear. A mentor will tell you what you need to hear. I'm in their face. But Carla, if they say they want to build a big business, I'll be in their face. You can ask Javier, I'm in his face. He hated me so many times because when he started at 23, he was not organized, and there was very much Spanish island lifestyle. I was in his face. You can ask Javier, how many times have you hated Marco? And I'm okay with this because I do it out of love. Love is to push him because I believe in him so much. That's why I push him.
Okay. So meet people where they're needed. And some of those people, they need the push. They need the little kick in the butt to get to where they need to go because they had goals and dreams. And some people kind of get a little whiny about it and this and this. And sometimes you need to push them and other times you don't. So you kind of
the people who whine about this is the people who need the most. But again, if they want to build a business, if they just do this to get some customers here and there, I don't mind. I wouldn't push them. I'm talking of people who want to win. For example, I was at an event last weekend in UK, and it was about a $1 million mindset. And this speaker, he divided us in two groups, and we talked, and they put on music when we talk. And there was this lady in the corner with another lady. They were talking, 2 and 2. They paired us up. And then the music stopped. They gave us an instruction. This lady screamed, "Excuse me, can we turn down the music? It annoys me when we talk. It's a little annoying." And this guy from the stage just said, "Absolutely not. In life, there's going to be noise. If you cannot get above that noise in here, good luck in life."
okay.
That's what people need to hear, because we live in a world with people that look today. Seriously, sad to see how many people out there, they're just walking around looking for something to be offended by. And they said this, they said that, they said that, they said that, they said that. Like in London, like recently, there was this colored woman told me I was you white this, you white that. Well, I was not offended. I said, okay. She's maybe doesn't like white people. I don't care. I wouldn't get offended because she doesn't like white people. I don't care. It's her problem. Okay, I just walked away.
Yeah, I guess that's a big thing.
Like, why would I be offended? You can be offended for everything, And people get offended by everything today. This was a comment there. This was a comment there. This was there. My boss told me this. My girlfriend. Like I read an article. A woman said sexist is common because somebody told her I had nice pants. Was in the news. Sexist is common because they said very nice pants. They look good on you. Sexist is common. I mean, imagine how negative you have to be if you have to call a newspaper and then try to get money to sue them because they said, yeah, these pants look good on you. I mean, how negative you have to be. So this is the mindset. I want to help people to be happy, right? And to get that mind straight and then focus on the right things in life. If somebody tells me something on the streets, why would I get mad because they have a bad day?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So actually, not only are you doing what you need to do, you've set that plan to go after your goal, but nothing is going to be tearing you away from it. And you're not going to allow the negative in your brain to get that negativity. Why? I mean, there's going to always be things that go wrong. There's going to be things that go wrong in Zinzino. There's going to be things that go wrong in your team. But the consistency of just building this business and don't let anything get you down is keeping that positive mindset. And I think is if you're doing what you said, Marco, and filling up with positivity and filling up with the personal development, you stay on that track to be continuing to be positive, and actually you enjoy the journey more. So people who are really enjoying the journey, you feel it, and it makes it exciting to move towards your goal and not let anything get you offended.
Yeah, because it doesn't serve me, right? So you have to be wary with your energy. What gives you energy, what takes energy. And hurt people. So if this woman feel terrible, who cares? Not my problem. Why would I let her affect my life? Or like emotional weak people, like John C. Maxwell said once when I was coached by him, you ride in the car with people and you see directly who's emotional weak. They let somebody else do something stupid in traffic and they let that affect their mood. Then you know you're dealing with an emotional weak person. And I always took that to heart and think, okay, that's true. And back then I was at myself, the Sicilian, like, and then like, oh, that's the emotional weak person. I don't want to be an emotional weak person. And then I write down the opposite. How am I going to be? Okay, if they have problems, why would I let that affect me? So model is number one. I want to get through these steps, Carla, just share. Number two, of course, which you always hear, but most people don't do it, is creating that goal and the why, because we need a clear direction with a clear plan, because we need clarity. So do that with your people. I do that with them, but they will see me model the behavior, what I do. I always invite people, and I always want to be top recruiter is one thing, but I want to be the top leadership developer in the whole company. I don't compete with anybody else. I just know that I'm going to make sure nobody creates as many personal diamonds as I have. That's why I create this month. I'm probably going to get one second one. I think he can make it. Then I have 2 personal new diamonds this month. Personally sponsored people. So I'm doing this all the time. I have a third one that Stretch could do it as well. So I always want to be, because think about this in your business. You want to create a never-ending business that never ends. Make sure you just bottom left, bottom right, sponsor one person on each side a year that you get to platinum. And then you will always have growth. You will always have that. And that's not a high goal. One personal platinum left and right for the next 10 years. Do you understand where you will be financially and the compensation plan rank and everything? And nothing can stop you, because I never put anybody at the point where in the position that I need them. My family is never going to put, I'm not going to put my family's future, financial future in the hands of 1-2 people. This is why I sponsor a lot of people. So even if some of my top leaders will quit, yeah, maybe it affects my business 10%, because there's nobody that has the influence, because I've sponsored so many people. So there's nobody that can affect that business in a big way. And I do that for security, because I'm building Zinzino for the rest of my life. And if anything can happen in the life of some people. Some people can get greedy. Yep.
Well, I think there's so much that you just said in that little time. I'm like, okay, I can't keep up with these notes. Okay, so you've been showing that leadership. You have a goal of building those leaders, meaning that you need to sponsor people to be doing that. And I think that's one of the biggest keys is getting
and how you are as a person as well, because character integrity is the glue. And I had a sponsor. No, he was not a sponsor. He was an upline in first company where I built a big team. He always said, never get too close to your people, because then you lose the moral authority. To an extent, yes. But then I got to know his character better, because I actually sponsored him in my second company and I saw his character. So once you get close to him, you realize why he said that. For me, it's always been the opposite. If people get close to me, they want to stay longer. And this guy was going to be diamond this month, 5 years in, no experience. I got the best compliment 2 months ago. We had a dinner, me and him. And he said, Marco, I've seen you up close. I spent so much time with you the last months here. And yeah, you teach me business. Even more, you teach me life. And I hear that from many people I work with. I teach them life, because by being an example, by being a role model of integrity, honesty, being a person that actually genuinely cares about other people, serve people, not lip service, talking about it, doing it and living it. So when he get to know, he stayed weeks in my home in London. He saw me every day, in every under pressure, no pressure, every circumstance. And how are you in these circumstances? That is a big determining factor. If you create that glue in your business, because time will always promote you or expose you.
Wow. Again, you have so many things in there. So I was just going to say, in regards to the goals that you're setting, and you're saying you're not dependent on them, because you're going to continue on your goals, and people can feel that in you, that they know that you're going to do this no matter what. So they can choose if they're going to go after their goals or not, or if they're going to give up on their own goals. So, and then you are continually moving forward for you and your family. And by the way, congratulations. Marco's going to be a father coming up, so that you and your family is coming up. You can see all the people, yoo-hoo for you. Congratulations. Going to be daddy. I love that. But for you and your family, you're working on building your way out of a job. So you're showing leadership by doing what you want them to do.
With that person, Carla, with that person. Don't get me wrong when I say work myself out of a job, because I want to work myself into a job with a new person, building new leadership from scratch, getting down dirty, building new leaders, building new people, helping people grow from scratch. So I want to work myself in a job, but with a new person, and out of a job with an old person.
Mm-hmm. That is a huge goal. So Marco, what is your goals? What are your future goals? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see Zinzino?
Yeah, I mean, the target Zinzino has 100 million customers 2050. What if they miss it and hit 50? It's going to be amazing. One of the biggest companies in the world. So it's going to be amazing. And I believe, but to be honest, I don't care about building the biggest team these professionals said as seen. I don't care about that, but I know it's going to happen. I will build one of the biggest teams these professionals ever see. That will happen. But because of my pure heart in creating leaders, helping people win, and this is why I'm unstoppable. Mm-hmm. So it's the service to people, because this is my purpose in life. It's helping people win. That's why the other night I sat 2 nights ago, another Swedish leadership director in my team sat to coach her team. And same day I was coaching another team. I was coaching another friend in another company the other day, sitting there coaching them, holding accountability calls with leaders in other companies to help them win. I don't get even $1 for it. And so people tell me you need to charge and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, one day maybe I have to create a page. I will create a page with my educational system and sell it very cheap. But I spend so much time doing that. And this is why, Carla, when it's genuine and I see how people live their life, and that's why I'm proud of myself, Carla, for the character, integrity I live full of, even when nobody's watching. And that's why I know, and I feel from the inside, people need to work with people like me. And this is who all of you here can be like that. I'm not saying that to mean I'm special. What I mean is, if I can feel that about myself, this low self-esteem guy at a young age, even at 20, walking into a coffee place, feeling embarrassed, never been proud of himself, and now feeling that way about myself, I say that more to show you that if I can change a 360-degree change internally, you can do that as well.
And actually, Marco, I think that's one of the things that's super special, because when we were talking about the struggles, for me, going through some of the biggest struggles in my life has actually gotten to the point where I've said, now I'm proud of who I am behind closed doors, because you go through that time and it really kind of molds you. So it builds your character when you're going through struggles, because there's a lot of people out there still struggling and saying, I have goals and dreams, but this is hard. And I'm talking
Carla, we all struggle. You know what? Our mind is there to protect you. You want to know top recruiter, top leadership developers, confessions? I still hate to invite people, but I focus on the end result, but I still hate the invitation process. I don't know why. They told me the biggest lie, whatever is uncomfortable, if you do it enough time, it becomes comfortable. Yeah, I sponsored 700 people in this profession. When is it going to be comfortable? I can tell you, for me, it's never going to be comfortable. So just get used to it. So, and I still, before this call, I was actually on a call with a Danish guy who I'm trying to recruit. So I'm all the time inviting, and I'm so uncomfortable doing it. Networking events, I hate networking events. With me and Philippa, my fiance, going to a place with new people, I'm hiding. She's a natural networker. She walks and talking to people like, no, I don't. I stand in a corner, I'm hiding, and this is so uncomfortable. I'm not shy once I talk to people. It's just breaking the opening conversation. It's so uncomfortable for me. Still, I hate it.
But you do it anyway.
Why? Because I look at my goal. Okay, brain. I tell my brain, okay, thank you. I love you, my mind. I appreciate you being there to protect me, but you're running old program. There's no saber-toothed tigers in here that's going to eat me. So, but I appreciate you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for protecting me, mind. But I'm the boss here now. So you sit down in the boat. Listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to call them. We're going to talk to this person there. Why am I? But these are just silent. So why are we going to talk to this person here, Marco? we're going to do it because my goal is to do this. I know I can help this person. Whatever this person wants out of life, I can help them. If it's personal challenge, if it's better financial situation, help. Everybody wants good health. I will do this person a favor. It's a blessing for them if I talk to them. So let's talk to them. This is the kind of internal talk I do. And then I walk up.
Boom, there's the mic drop. Because people, all of us need to take that inside of us and say, if there's something holding you back, just talk yourself out of it. Why are you letting the negative part of you dictate what you should do? I think that was huge, Marco. Okay. I think everyone's writing on here. You can see all the fire going on, booms, and Marco.
Let me give the steps really quick. Last step, because I said you model it, you go wide plan, because you need direction, and that plan, you need clarity. And then they give a commitment. Number 3 is doing it, right? Doing it with them. First, you model it. You create a plan based on ask the right questions. So you create the plan, a goal, and what they want out of it. And then 3 is doing it with them. I'll do it with them. I'll hold them accountable to what they say they're going to do. And I'll take it personally if they don't do it, but I never bash them down on it. And then, because remember, that new partner, I'm going to do it with them, because the hardest thing for them, the first thing they do in the business is always the hardest thing. Do the list, hardest thing they've done in the career. Then do the list, invite them. It's the hardest thing they did in the career. Presenting, hardest thing they did in the career. Partner, a no-show, plus secret meeting. A secret meeting happens to everybody. I had a secret event in Milano 2 weeks ago, Carla. I had a top leader in another company reached out to me, wanted to join me. We talked back and forth. He had 30 people ready to join. I was flying to Dubai on the Tuesday. I flew to Milan on the Sunday, 5 o'clock. I'm going to meet 30 people in a room, and he's going to send the morning which hotel. And I fly to Milano, get there. So what hotel? No response. So I flew to Milano, secret event for 30 people. Nobody showed up. Never heard from him again. So
Okay, they have royal ambassador flying in, and it was a no-show. And you know what? I've noticed you were telling that story with a smile on your face, because it's like,
it was so funny. I got a new story. Sometimes you get good results, and sometimes you get a new story. So I talked about many times secret meeting, but now I did a secret event.
okay, so besides the modeling clear plan, doing it with them.
Do with them. This is important. Number 4 is important. Prepare them. So when we're going to do, well, actually, that should be 4, and do is number 4, and prepare. Because I prepare you, Carla. You start, I'm going to tell you, listen, Carla, you will be useless at this, Carla. You're going to be so bad. I'm going to listen when you call, and you're going to be terrible. Carla, I was terrible. Whatever you knew at, you're going to be useless. You're useless at everything you knew. This is okay, Carla. You probably messed up your first 5 calls. My first 7, they were laughing at me. That's okay, Carla. So now you're okay, because failing, remember what failing is. First attempt in learning. Fail. First attempt in learning. So you need to do many first attempts in learning, right? So you're going to be useless in whatever you do. Number 5, creating the first victories. We need the first customer. We need the first partner. Every time you get that first new partner, customer, you gain a couple of weeks of belief, and they will stay longer in the business. So first victories. If I can get you to call, Carla, I'll call you, take your list and call for you. Because my mindset is also, I sign a new partner. We have a new list. I need to get to the best contacts before they quit. Number 6, events. Nothing can replace events. We know that. You hear it often, so I don't need to go into that. 7, keep inspiring your team, but you keep growing, you keep producing. Keep inspiring, keep growing, keep producing. Producing, bottom left, bottom right, you build a new personal platinum once a year only. And you're going to create a never-ending growing business.
So that keep inspiring your team, is that where you put consistency? Because
absolutely, because under keep inspiring, how do you do that? I keep growing myself, and I keep producing. Because if I keep producing, they will never lose the respect. But I see too many people, it's too easy, Carla. We fall into management mode. We just work, because I can be busy without doing I can lay in my sofa like this. I open my WhatsApp. I'm going to have so many messages and people I work with. I coach some, answer some, do this, da. They fill my calendar with a 3-way call, with a 2-on-1. That's management mode. Mm-hmm. And that's what I see too many of my leaders, not of my leaders, but some of my leaders, and too many people in general, even in my team, they're just in management mode. That's why they're not growing quicker, because they haven't sponsored a soul for the last 6 to 12 months because they're just working through their team. That's management mode. They're on cruise control. So keep inspiring your team on 7. Under that, keep growing, keep producing.
Mhm. So it's just don't stop. And I've heard that many people say, the only way that you're not going to have success in this industry is by quitting. Just moving forward, even if it's just that, one contact, as you're saying, is just moving forward. So, Marco, you are incredible. I don't know if you said, oh, I don't want too much of the compliments, but it's just, you have so much knowledge in this. And I think, we're at an incredible spot in Zinzino right now. So if we just take this and run with it, I mean, where do you see Zinzino coming up?
I mean, Zinzino, as I said before, this is the reason why I can create that plan of creating one of the biggest teams this profession ever seen, because you need to be in the same company for many years to do that. And I see Zinzino as well now, also studying at just finished the course in organizational leadership at Harvard, studying how to build a big company and from a leadership standpoint and big organizations. I've been analyzing there, asking Doug questions and looking from a different kind of perspective. And I can tell you, they do stuff right in Zinzino. So with Doug and the corporate there, we're in such good hands. And of course, with Ori and Hilde, how amazing they are, but also from a corporate standpoint, how these companies run gives me so much confidence that this is a company that's going to be one of the huge billion-dollar legacy companies out there 30 years from now. So that's amazing.
Well, you are incredible. Thank you so much for sharing all of this wisdom. I can see everybody nodding here.
And thank you, Art, for summarizing. I can see now that Art here is summarized. I took a picture of it, Art. Thank you very much.
There is so much, and I hope that everybody got so much out of it as just as much as I did. And we have so much inspiration here with what Marco has been giving us, but all the things that we're going to do, inspiring to change people's health, but inspiring and changing people's wealth, and really making that difference with heart and serving others in this way. Marco, thank you for sharing everything that you have shared today. We can really see why you have definitely spot on with the heart of Zinzino and building that leadership. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on here.
And thank you for everything you do and setting up these calls and everything, sharing your wonderful personality and everything, Carla, and congratulations on your success. And thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you, Marco. So I'm going to let everybody unmute so that they can say thank you to Marco for everything you've done and for all the knowledge that we got for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Marco.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Carla.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
And
Thanksgiving.
thank you all for being on. And thank you, Marco. Incredible.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao, everybody.
Ciao.